create a better learning environment for our students, I think first and foremost, it's going to have to take place in the schools, and that's just equipping teachers with the skills to work with children who do not come from the same cultural background as themselves and do not live in the same urban areas as themselves.
They need love, right? If the community and society in general could pour out this amazing outputting of love, I think that would take care of most of what ails society and what ails our education system.
Kids. It's definitely the kids. Love the kids. It's a good experience. They all, even when they act up, you can see the innocence in their face, and you understand that, you just need a little bit more patience. That's all. Damn. Sit. Go.
Good vibe. I'm a mentor. This is my mentee right here. Everything. So he keeps me coming here. He keeps me questioning. I stay on him. So yeah, man, it's good here. It's a good vibe. I love working. I've been here 13 years, man, and I love everything.
It's a 5, so it's gonna go over to a 200. If anything, when you bring it up.
I know it's hard for me to grasp that children don't want to come to school on their own. It's just because it's not a place that validates them as a person. So if we can create that kind of atmosphere within the schoolhouses, I think that we see a lot more success of our children.
It was kind of frustration because I didn't know what to do to get all my negative stuff up out of me. I didn't know what to do, so I just...
Mindful schools came to our school through the route of the Hearts program out of UC San Francisco.
Quiet to hear sounds inside your body. It's not sounds that you normally hear.
Ultimately, it came down to principal and teacher leaders realizing that our students need services such as this to be successful in school.
Mindfulness is it's the mental faculty of deliberately paying attention or of having intentional presence.
Face forward, see if you can face me. Just kind of like this. So, my name is Mr. Golden. I'm here to teach you something about mindfulness. Have any of you heard that word before? Yeah?
It's like thinking in your mind, less full of mind, thinking thoughts.
Okay. Mindfulness is like a relaxation. It's almost like in your own world, you're calming down. Mindfulness is where you could get all your thoughts out, get all the negative things out of your head, and relax and just listen to some slow music.
Inside your body. So you might hear sounds that you don't normally hear. So it works better if you close your eyes. So let your eyes close. Sitting really still. Just listen to the sound. When you can't hear the sound any longer, just raise your hand.
It's like a heartbeat, basically. An echo. I heard my heartbeat
So you're saying you hear the pulsating in the sound?
Watch. When you hit the beat, it's gonna go. At the end, it's gonna go down.
Okay, that's good.
Watch when you do it again.
All right, we'll do it one more time. See if you could hear the sound pulsating. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I'm gonna ring it really quiet though. Ready?
It's a really easy, fundamental tool to address stress. So students that come into a classroom that have had a stressful morning or have a stressful experience in their life or are in the midst of some trauma, that mindfulness can bring some ease around that situation and some ease around stress.
The training at the mindful schools will provide the children, from a little bit that I know thus far, is something that's needed to self-regulate and self-monitor their emotions, which they haven't been taught how to do that thus far.
Start our math test at 9:15, and when we finish.
So far, I believe all of the teachers are on board with the program. There's a couple who are apprehensive about having folks come in. We're on an extremely tight schedule for the curriculum that we need to get to the children and the standards that they need to be proficient with. And we only have 7 weeks left before the big state tests. So there's a lot of anxiety around taking minutes away from the classroom. But when it was proposed that for the 15 minutes they would spend with the mindful school training, that they would gain an extra half hour of instructional time, then teachers kind of saw it as an asset.
TV's on, radio's on, there's this constant jump from one thing to the next. And then they come into the classroom and we're asking them to give us their full attention, when nothing else in the outside world is training them to give full attention to one thing. So our brains actually aren't able to focus that well because they're not being trained to do that. So mindfulness is training how to focus on one thing at a time.
When we are stressed, we go into fight, flight, or freeze response. It is temporarily useful to maneuver through challenges, but exposure to chronic stress can trigger unhealthy and reactive patterns. The prefrontal cortex is the command center of the brain, which regulates behavior, such as emotions, reasoning, problem-solving, empathy, and impulse control. The amygdala scans for danger and signals the rest of the brain. The HPA axis is the feedback loop that regulates stress hormones in the body. When the brain is exposed to chronic stress hormones, the hippocampus, which stores memory, cannot take in new information. The ability to effectively teach and to learn is then impaired. But wait, there is an antidote. Through modern-day technology and brain scanning, the neuroscientists have shown that cultivating mindfulness actually activates the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for concentration. 30 years of mindfulness-based research confirms that the brain can be rewired.
Right.
Mindfulness plugs us back into the present moment.
I'll see you on Thursday. Great. Okay, so get into your mindful bodies. Sit really quietly, really still. This is the way I'll end. Listen to the bell when you can't hear it. Raise your hand, let your eyes close, and maybe I'll be gone. If I can get out of here.
We try to set up teachers so that they feel confident in continuing mindfulness when we leave. And when we come in through our program, our lessons are kind of extensive. We have 15 minutes with the class, and we can teach them mindfulness of movement, or mindfulness of seeing, or mindful eating, mindfulness of thoughts, mindfulness of emotions. So we always have a topic for the day that we come in, and we spend 15 minutes around that topic. But teachers, classroom teachers, don't need to spend that much time with their students once the program is completed. Spending just 2 minutes of mindfulness a day, whether it's at the beginning of the day or during transitions or before a test or on their way out at the end of the day, just taking 2 minutes to spend time being mindful can have a really big shift in the class if it's done regularly.
Well, I'm thinking about where we were a couple months ago when we started, and now is that it's become part of our morning routine for community circle time, and the kids really monitor that it takes place and kind of won't end our community circle unless we've done some mindful breathing and working with the bell. The children are also using the term mindfulness throughout the day. We just did our California standardized testing last week, and the students would often want to take a break after 20-30 minutes and ask if we could ring the bell and do some mindful breathing during the CST. One of the students recommended that we stare at the holes in the ceiling. Some other student was like a certain dot around the room. So it's become kind of a fun, moldable tool that the students have incorporated into their daily routine at school.
Mindfulness is anything. We being mindfulness now because we listening.